Hi, friends. I know a number of folks in our community and the broader community of folks trying to play the low whistle have some challenges with the finger. I'm doing finger spacing on a low whistle. Have some challenges with it, especially the spacing between the fourth and the fifth hole. Um, it is a challenge, and I know some people that actually gave up the low whistle as a result. My heart breaks. Um, I know some people that don't play their low whistles as much as they would like because they haven't looked at other options. I also know many people for whom this is not a problem at all. And that's awesome. And if it's not a problem for you, keep listening because you're going to be able to help somebody else for whom it is. You know, one option that a member of our community shared that I didn't even realize I was doing until she shared it was if your hands tire and cramp while you're playing the whistle, or if you feel like you're gripping it too hard. Remember, we've talked about all kinds of things like how to make it so your your whistle's not going to slip out of your hands. But another thing is if playing the low D causes your hands to tire and cramp after a period of time, practice on your high D. Experiment on your high D. Learn a tune on your high D, and then pick up your low D. And you're not spending as much time wearing yourself out as you play the low D, and you're freer to experiment because your fingers are a lot closer together, and you can mess around and you could think, well, when I pick up my low D, I'm going to try this. Oh, that's really a lot of fun. And that's one of the reasons why some people even have a high D, because it gives them the freedom to warm up and experiment so that when they pick up their low D, they've already gained the knowledge of the tune, and it helps them learn better, and it helps them play longer because their hands aren't cramping as much. And again, for some of you, this is not a problem. Yay! It's depending upon the day of the week, it is and it isn't a problem for me because I've got a little bit of arthritis in that joint right there, and there are some whistles when I'm playing that I need to put some tape on the back, like we talked about, to get it to not slip. And so that's really important. But what I wanted to talk about today is, and this didn't hit me till yesterday, that whistle manufacturers are being so kind to us that they're giving us a variety of options. Now, if you're having issues managing the spread of the partial or full piper's grip, or if you're having trouble maybe holding your whistle, manufacturers have given us options. For example, you follow the strategy of the high D. Even if you're totally happy with your low D, use the high D as well because it's a blast to play. Mountain Made it's close finger spacing with a little bit of an offset on the bottom. Mountain Made whistles. I've introduced this whistle, and I'll put a link at the top to that video, and I'll put a link in the notes to this video so you could access that. It's an inexpensive option, and it's easier to play. But there was a time when it was like, well, this is your only option. Oh well. If you're not, it's a very quiet whistle. It's fun to play, and you have to get used to it. That's that way with all whistles, isn't it? So anyway, that's an option. Whistle manufacturers are helping us today. Another low D whistle option. A little more expensive and a little richer tone, a little larger in volume, by Metcalf. I've introduced this whistle, and I'll put a link up there and in the notes to the video to that. The hole spacing on Nick's whistle, check Nick out. He's great. Does all kinds of fun stuff. The hole spacing is traditional hole spacing, but he's taken the 3rd and the 6th hole and he's offset them so that it's actually easier to reach them. And even though the spacing is just as far, you're not having to spread your fingers as far because you're able to use a different grip and the hole is offset slightly to the side. And so that you're not having to pull that part of your hand around, which is what causes a lot of people to cramp. This is his standard low D. Then, and I'm moving up the price range. The good folks at Howard, I've started off with a Howard low D. I love my Howard. This is the Howard low D. It's basically the same whistle. You could still get different heads, and it has a key. So you're able to, however you like to hold the top, and then quite close on the bottom. And the 6th hole is not moved, but the folks at Howard have provided a key so that that's accessible there. I'll put a link to the introduction to this video there, and you'll notice when you watch these videos, I love all of them. So that's a great option. Now, the last option, which really is the most expensive option, not really much more than the Howard though, is the Carbony. This is the Carbony wide bore, close finger spacing. And look how I can play this like I'm playing a high D. Look how close my fingers are together. And the volume is there. The tone quality is there. Everything you want in your low D whistle is there. Now, I'd say that, about the others as well. But the Carbony brings much more together. The Howard accomplishes the same basic thing, but it does come in a little heavier than the Carbony, and it's not as light, as I just said, or as easy to hold. And so I find, and this, like I said, this just hit me, I can play the Carbony without needing to worry at all about using the high D to make sure my hands don't get tired. I can play this my entire long practice session and my hands don't get worn out. That is absolutely brilliant. Now, I said the Carbony is a little bit more expensive than the Howard, but if you use my discount code, Scott's Journey, and I'll put that in the notes too, they really come in at like the same price. Yeah, since I have a discount code to give you, this sounds commercially, but what I'm really wanting to say to you today is you and I have options now. The manufacturers of low D whistles have reached a point where they're giving us so many more amazing options. And I know Nick Metcalf even has a more expensive version. I haven't bought one yet. I need to. Sorry, Nick, that I don't have that yet. I need to get it. He has a more expensive version with the offset fingering. So the manufacturers are listening. They're helping. If you're really on a tight budget and you need a whistle that is going to enable you to play and you're having trouble with that, the grip, then the Mountain Made or the one from Nick Metcalf. If you can afford a little bit more, get the upgrade from Nick Metcalf with the offset finger spacing. And if you want to step into professional grade whistles, and they fit in your budget. That's huge for me. If they fit in your budget, actually, I would say if it fits in your budget, just buy one of these two. My apologies to the other makers, because the others are all great too. But the Carbony and the Howard are amazing, resonant, traditional, a little more creative, mellow, full tone. I'd buy any of these again. Half of the reason is I need to introduce them to you. But I absolutely love the Carbony. I love the Howard. I really like the others. And I need to. And one of our friends and I were chatting today, and I realized I need to buy more things from Nick so that I can experiment with more of his whistles. But my friends, you and I have options today. Use the discount code. If you can afford it, buy one of the others. And there are just so many great things available for us today. I am just delighted that I can have my entire practice playing a low D whistle. And then I pull out the high D because I feel like it. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy low D whistling, my friends.